Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alfany. So there will be chapters in this video here. Oh, we have them right where we want them. We just keep on winning. This will be a good one here. But you want to hear some of the information at the end of this video. That's why I'm going to definitely put in chapters here if you want to jump around. Trust me. Now, let's begin here. This is an article on U.Today, and it plays into everything I've been saying. Remember, I've kept saying in multiple videos that the SBI remit, and SBI remit obviously is deep in Japan, but I was talking about SBI Africa and what the head of SBI Africa had said, which was that there's a myriad of legacy system institutions and banks on the side that want to step into crypto. They're just waiting on a reasonable outcome, a positive outcome to the SEC case, right? Then the other day, we had another executive, I can't remember from where, but I know a lot of you guys probably remember, another CEO or president or head of some corporation was talking about Japan again. You remember that? Now listen to this. I told you. And that's what it was. So going back to the SBI Africa, remember they said they believed that every bank in Japan might use XRP. You always have to begin somewhere. Get a load of this. If this doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will. That money is coming. Let's start here. This is on U.Today. The article is titled, Ripple City Mayor in Japan Visits to Discuss Crypto Adoption. That's right. You heard it right. One of the mayors in Japan has visited Ripple. Oh, this is a good day. This is a glorious day. Victory is almost ours. It's right there. The cycle is almost complete. Look how close we are, how rapidly things are moving. Don't you feel it? Don't you see it? Let's read this just a little tidbit here. I'm fired up today. You have to be fired up. I know it's Saturday. For a lot of people, it's their day of rest. And for other people, they're out there partying it up. But after all of that, I know you have to be fired up, knowing what's coming. Let's read this little tidbit here. The Ripple top exec shared a picture alongside the tweet that reads, quote, "We welcome Fukuoka City Mayor Soichiro Takashima and his team at Ripple HQ today. Fukuoka is a leading city in Web3 initiatives in Japan. Today, Mayor Takashima of Fukuoka City and people from the international department visited Ripple's headquarters. I have high hopes for Fukuoka City, which is actively working on Web3. And they're there with Ripple. Oh, and they are drooling over XRP. Believe me, that's why they're pushing so hard. Now, let's go over why everyone's pushing so hard. We have Europe pushing hard. Remember ECB, they were a little flip-floppy. A little 50-50 at times, but they're pushing hard for a digital euro. We have Ripple on the Digital Pound Foundation. We have Ripple on the Digital Euro Association. We're deep in Europe. Algorand is deep in Europe also, so is Stellar. Don't leave them out. We're going to get all that money. It's ours. We're taking it. We're not asking for it. We're taking it. Europe is pushing. Africa is pushing. Latin America is pushing. Japan is pushing, and I couldn't translate a document, or else I would have had more for you. There was a Russian document put out recently. Unfortunately for me, I only speak a little bit of Russian. Strashviche, by the way, Strashviche or Privet, right? I only speak a little Russian. I don't read Russian. It's a Cyrillic. I don't read it. And I couldn't translate it. And the little translate button wouldn't translate it either. Okay? I would have had more for you, but Russia is also pushing. Now, why is the entirety of the world, why does it seem like the entirety of the world is pushing? Well, everyone except the United States, or rather rogue actors in the United States. I believe firmly that it is necessary for the world to have a great reset. It is a great financial reset at the least. Why? Look at the global debt. It's out of control. The global debt is so astronomically high that it is going to crush someone, some generation, somewhere. And they see the writing on the wall, and it's going to affect everyone from the top to the bottom. The financial systems are completely filled with holes, bleeding out. You have illicit activities coming from within. I'll just say it that way. There's so many things. The system is dying. They need it. And they're not going to wait. You think they want to wait for other generations to enjoy what's to come? No. They want to enjoy it right now. And so do we. This benefits us because they're pushing harder because they don't want everything to burn to the ground. They don't want everything to be crushed. And don't get me wrong, there's pros and there's cons to the new system, definitely. But for you and I, that means that we could possibly, not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, you do what you want to do. But that means that we could possibly come into generational wealth with assets like XRP, Quant, XLM, Algorand, Hedera. They're making major moves. Major moves lately. You see how everything's speeding up? But yes, they have to implement the new system before everything completely collapses. And not only can they prevent everything from completely collapsing, because there could be a partial collapse. I do believe that there will be a partial collapse of the financial systems, the systems as a whole. There's been a breakdown across the board. But the entirety of it doesn't have to collapse. And in fact, after the new system is implemented, everyone who is wise and utilizing the system will be able to thrive. They need what we have. I've been saying this since last year, haven't I? Let's continue on here, okay? We have a lot to get through. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you're here. This article here is from thecryptobasic.com. Smell the money. Just one sniff. Just do one sniff. Have fun. Smell the money. Feel it in your hands. We're here to make money. We make money. I know your people rested today. Some people party today. Tomorrow we start thinking about money again. When you wake up in the morning, think about money. When you go to that job and you're working hard and you're running your business, we start thinking tomorrow, because I know tomorrow's an off day also for people. But we start planning at least so we can get to that money. The hard work is now. Later you can relax. Right now is the hard work. This is an article from thecryptobasic.com. Ripple whale activity taps multi-month highs as 452 100K plus XRP transactions recorded in a few hours. Yes, the time is almost at hand. I'm counting stacks of money already right now. I almost just completely forgot I was recording a video as I was imagining stacks of money in front of me. Smell the green. I like to say green is more fun. It's just in a few hours, like they're testing the system. You saw what they just did in Brazil. Then you heard, the Bank of Italy was testing Algorand. Then you had a bevy of banks in Africa testing H-bar. It's coming. The flood is building up behind a wall, and soon it will be released. So many will be left behind, but there's nothing we can do about that. Only the worthy, only a remnant will benefit from this and rise. Let's read this here. It says, XRP sees a spike in whale activity on Friday. It's the Friday. How does that song go, that Friday night? Friday night, and I just got paid. Make money. Someone said, I'm showing my age. Alphanim, how old are you? That's right, I know the Friday money song. That's right. Oh, man. Anyway, that's what I thought when I read that. Some of you don't know who made that song. Just got paid. Friday night. Party hopping. Anyway, you guys just sing the songs. This is not a party here. We're supposed to be professional and covering crypto news. Anyway, you all have to excuse my unprofessional subscribers. It's totally not me. It's them. It's definitely them. All right. We joke around here like that. Now, this article goes as such. Sentiment in a tweet on Saturday noted that in the final hours of trading, XRP saw a spike in whale activity with about 452 transactions over 100K, $100,000. The highest since May 13th, further highlighting that positive sentiment is at its highest since April. According to Sentiment, it is the largest amount of transactions in over 3 months. You see a correlation between what they did in Brazil and also what they've been doing recently in Mexico in these large transactions? The wise see with the mind. Quote, XRP is seeing notable whale activity and high optimism in Friday's closing trading hours. It is worth noting that increased price volatility tends to follow increased whale activity. Notably, the XRP network has seen increased activity in the last few days. For example, on Thursday, the Crypto Basic reported several large XRP transactions between exchanges and unknown wallets, totaling $844 million. Oh, wait, dollars. I messed up. I got too into character. 844 million XRP worth $315 million makes no difference. This, in my opinion, is them priming corridors or running tests. It really doesn't make a difference as long as we know everything is moving forward. We're making progress, moving towards the flipping of the switch. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. Remember, there's already precedent set for systems all to go off at the same time. Now, I do believe everything will happen in degrees because logically, even if the system comes on all at once with the known or the signed up institutions who stand to use the on-demand liquidity in the XRPL, now there will be more coming in. There will be more coming in over time. And that means that price can continuously go up over an extended period of time. That's good. Also, I want to throw out there randomly, do not forget XDC. Oh, and we actually have an XDC. Oh, XDC is going to explode. We have a little XDC article coming up too. Like I said, there's chapters in here if you want to jump around. This is good activity. In my humble opinion, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful night. Let's continue on here. All right. This is from Algorand. A little bit of Algorand news. Now, we saw Ripple making announcements that they are dealing with certain universities. That's going to bring in a lot of brilliant minds. Now, Algorand was one of the first to go in deep with the universities. I believe they're also working with the University, was it of Miami? They're in deep in Florida, in the governmental officials of Florida love Algorand. I believe Florida is going to run on Algorand once we have regulatory clarity. That's my humble opinion. We've made a lot of good calls on this channel. I believe we will make a lot more. Also, Algorand had their European accelerator. And then also you have Stellar here and there with some educational services as well. But you always want to get into the university so that the youth who are coming out of the universities will be familiar with that technology. And because of their familiarity, they will be more apt to use it. And if they are utilizing that particular system, that means that price can go up. And that they're not so easily swayed away from using those systems by ill-informed or misinformed media members and things of that nature. Word of mouth, people spread a lot of FUD, word of mouth, but they won't be, turned away from distributed ledger technology because they have been properly educated within those colleges and universities. This is a great thing. So now we have this Algorand tweet here, and it goes as such. Hashtag Algorand and ACE students will learn about technology and content related to the Algorand blockchain with hands-on experience on the Algorand Foundation's blockchain platform. Right? Then it goes on here. There's an article linked to, it says straitstimes.com, and it goes as such. New center under world's largest blockchain research program. The center is developing an online platform for companies to trial digital versions of smart grid systems. Ooh, so it goes a little bit deeper, actually. It says efforts to improve electricity supply networks worldwide could receive a boost with a new research center. Oh, so this is a research center in Singapore that can test digital versions of smart grid systems. The Algorand Center of Excellence at Nanyang Technological University is tapping blockchain technology to develop an online platform for companies to trial these electricity supply systems. By testing digital versions of smart grid systems, companies could save on costs to build physical prototypes, improve efficiency, and reduce their carbon footprint. It's a sandbox. So this is a research center where they can get a little bit more, deep in what it is that they're doing in the applications of such, but also they're able to, it seems, test these things out in what would be a digital sandbox. And we were just talking about digital sandboxes. This is very, very good. Also, keep in mind what I was saying before about the universities. So in the universities, I'm calling it now. In the universities, as you're studying certain things, for any of you out there that have your degrees, you not only study the particular topics at hand, but you test them out, you build. And a lot of times you spend a majority of your time inside of computer labs and scientific laboratories, and you are able to experiment. There will be a lot of experimentation. And so digital sandboxes are going to come in handy greatly. And a lot of times those students from the universities are sent to research facilities to try things out, to test things out, to get hands-on experience before they even graduate through special programs. This is a great thing that they're doing. Algorand is one of the absolute smartest blockchains out there in ensuring that their future is going to be extremely bright. And yes, I'm going to say it a million times, that price is going to explode. You just have to look at the catalyst. We said it last year and it did explode. We were talking about Algorand saying, hey, this is what's going to happen. These are the deals they have lined up. And then it exploded, went parabolic. Same thing with Cello, exploded, went parabolic. We said the same thing about Batcoin, exploded, went parabolic. We said the same thing about Zilliqa, exploded and went parabolic. We said the same thing about Quant. We talked about Quant when it was at $40, boom, exploded and it went parabolic. We make good calls. I'm telling you now, based on the catalyst. And even with all of what I just said, I could be completely wrong. I don't think I am. This is not financial advice. Algorand's price is going to explode almost more than most. It just is going to take a little bit of time. And those riches or that wealth is going to be in the hands of the patient. As simple as that. You cannot rush these things. It will not speed up for anyone. These are bank coins for a reason. It's going to take some time. Now, so everything is looking really, really good right now. I'm very excited. I can't wait. I hope that things move faster. I really do. I'm patient and I will wait as long as it takes. However, at the same time, there's a balance to everything. I do hope that it goes faster. Well, why not? Oh, man. So this is a great thing that Algorand is doing. Let's move on here. I want to get through all of these articles today. You know, sometimes I don't. I get a little too excited. This is from the XDC Foundation. Every time I look at what XDC is doing, what Zenfin is doing, I am very excited. I'm very happy with their progress. They're moving so rapidly. Here's the tweet here. It says, utilizing the hashtag XDC network, @Go plugin is introducing their latest DApp, Emergency Health Record. The latest addition to the PLI ecosystem will allow for a more secure and seamless relationship between users, medical data, and their doctors. We saw a few months back, Algorand is doing the same thing. They're both going into the medical industry. There is a lot of money in the medical industry. This is great. And they definitely need something to help them with data. Oh my goodness. There has been some things going on in the medical industry. I read a lot of different news. Things going on in the medical industry, and yeah, they need to shore up their security a little bit, make sure their data is a little bit more secure. And XDC, which I believe has military grade security, was it XDC or was it HBAR? I believe it was XDC, has military grade security. That price is going to explode. You imagine them setting up infrastructures for hospitals, and it's not going to be one. Hospitals are typically in networks. So if you do an infrastructure for one, I would think that you're going to logically do it for the entirety of the network, correct? I mean, it's a possibility. Either way, even without this, XDC's price is going to explode from that trade finance, from trade finance and the different things that are going to be doing, the large amounts of value that's going to be moving across them, across that particular blockchain. But things like this, these are catalysts that tell you why something's going to explode in the future. These are respected industries and there's big money here. So if they're doing something like this, is it far-fetched to also think that those hospitals who use this particular blockchain, Zenfin, XDC, that they might also roll payroll across it? We've seen it already with Algorand. A lot of institutions who use Algorand for one thing, they oftentimes say to themselves, "Hey, okay, we're going to test out payroll on Algorand as well." Right? Same. That's what happened in El Salvador. Then you look at Ripple. Same thing there. We're doing digital wallets there. We have on-demand liquidity corridors. We're lining up over there. But then also, what did they say a few months back? Hey, we're thinking about rolling payroll out on XRPL. So oftentimes, we are all encompassing when we ingrain ourselves within the system. So this is very, very good in my humble opinion. Now, let's move on here. I just want to read a little bit from these documents, then I'm going to post them later on in the members only section. So remember, maybe tomorrow or later today, later tonight, if you want to go over to that community tab, scroll down if you're already a member. If you're not and you would like to be a member, you can click that little join button. It definitely supports the channel and keeps it alive so I can continue to bring you this kind of content. But go to that community tab, scroll down, and you will see the documents there, okay? It says, this is from the ECB, the European Central Bank. They've been telling. My goodness, we have them right where we want them. Let's just read this little tidbit here. This is on page 6. It says, traditionally, interest in the economics of money and payments has been largely confined to a narrow circle of experts in central banking, academia, and the financial industry. This has changed dramatically over the past 15 years or so, as technological innovation is disrupting the market for payments at an unprecedented scale. So it doesn't say it's going to disrupt, it is disrupting right now. That's important to keep in mind as we progress through this paragraph. Let's continue on. And the resulting changes are becoming tangible in citizens' everyday lives. There's a balance to everything. So as they're saying that, so let's say this is the balance and it was shifted in favor of the banks. Well, now it's sort of coming to a middle ground where the banks can see that it may shift against them and people may be using these digital assets more than banks in the future. This is why they need to act now. This is why they want to push their CBDCs harder than ever before, because they can lose ground. They can lose market. They are not invincible. They want you to believe they're invincible, but they're not. When you look into them, you see that they're just paper and they can be blown over easily. But let's continue on here. It says, and the resulting changes are becoming tangible in citizens' everyday lives. I would also say is becoming tangible in the operations of the banks. That's why they're concerned. Strong growth in e-commerce has led to a decline in the use of cash, which is why they want to issue CBDCs so that it can be considered digital cash and it should be handled like digital cash. However, in my humble opinion, although you can have all of those particular variables of what would make the equivalent to digital cash, it's still going to have programmability, which means that it's not cash. You can do whatever you want with cash, but based on programmability, they will have a great deal of control over it. But this is their way of surviving when paper tender sort of, the fire of paper tender almost extinguishes. Let's continue on here. It says, an increased demand for electronic payments, technology-driven startups, fintechs, and large digital platforms, big tech, are increasingly pushing into market traditionally dominated by banks. They are scared. They are concerned. We are dominating. We are winning. Don't let anyone tell you different. The ECB is telling you right here that they're concerned. If we were not making an impact, they would not be concerned. Which is great for us. That means that flood, let's put the flood to the side. That tsunami of money is coming. Let's continue on here. It says, are increasingly pushing into a market traditionally dominated by banks and credit card companies. At the same time, the development of distributed ledger technology enables the decentralized settlement of electronic transfers, which has spurred the creation of fiat cryptocurrencies and stable coins. These developments have inspired central banks to explore the merits of introducing a digital version of cash. Not inspired. It has struck fear into their hearts. And they want to maintain their positions, their power, their control. They don't want to lose capital because they have been and they will. If they don't congeal with the system, they will be devoured by the new monetary system. They must congeal with it. That's why they are congealing with it. If they could have stopped it, they would have. And they did try, but they can't. We are winning. I have to say that. There's so much FUD. I read so much FUD the other day. It's unbelievable. We are winning. At least the bank coins are. I don't speak for the rest of crypto. I don't know what they're doing, but I know bank coins, that I know. I wake up in the morning reading about the bank coins. I go to sleep reading about the bank coins. This is not going to be forever. This is until we get to the money. Generational wealth. That's serious. So, you heard it from the ECB itself. Like I said, I will be placing this document in the members only section. I may go over more pages here. There's a lot of deep stuff that they said in this document. So I may make a members only video based on this. On some of the other things that are a little bit deeper than what's here. But what was said here is so impactful. Let's go here. Now, this is a speech given at the Bank of International Settlements by Joachim Nagel, son of digital euro. Oh, man. Is there a such thing as getting too much good news? Now, well, let me say this. You know, most of the great minds have said that even though the pendulum swings equally to the left as it does to the right, and there's a balancing to everything, that just because the pendulum swings deeply into the realm of goodness does not mean that you would experience an equal amount of the negative. That's what they say. That's what the great brilliant minds say. The ancient minds say. So just because we're getting a whole lot of good news doesn't mean necessarily that the pendulum will swing in the opposite direction back to the negative. No, oftentimes what happens is a reset. So maybe there isn't a such thing as too much good news. But let's read this little tidbit here. It says, we're going to jump to page 3. This is the, I believe this is the first, no, this is the second paragraph, second full paragraph on page 3 of this document. I'll be posting this also in the members only section. One of the two risks is a well-known, is a well-known one. Bank runs. In the future, hold on, let me pause there. Do you see how many times we read these documents and they're concerned about bank runs? And you'll have people who are telling you bank runs are no big deal. My goodness, have you read their PDFs? Have you listened to their speeches? Have you seen how they panic when there's bank runs? Liquidity crisis? Do you see that they're rapidly trying to solve this issue? That means that bank runs are a big issue for the banks. He's telling you they view it as a risk. It's one they must address. It's one they're trying to solve. Let's read it again, and then we'll continue on. One of the two risks is a well-known one: bank runs. In the future, the digital euro would enable citizens, in the event of tensions in the financial system, to convert their overnight bank deposits into central bank money in seconds with a few mouse clicks or touches. In extreme cases, this could bring many banks to their knees if they encounter liquidity problems due to rapid outflows of deposits. Liquidity problems. How do you think they're going to solve that liquidity problem? Is there any protocols or assets that, I don't know, have on-demand liquidity? Are there any assets that have instant liquidity? We have what they need. We have the solutions. Let's continue on here. United States economist Perry Merling put it in somewhat martial terms: liquidity kills you quick, naturally meaning a lack of bank liquidity. Supervisors, governments, and central banks have introduced insurance systems to protect against bank runs. However, we are still well advised to remain vigilant because it's still a threat. Identifying and controlling risk at an early stage remains one of the key takeaways from 2008 financial crisis. Depending on the design of the digital euro, however, I believe that these risks can be managed. With programmability, they'll be able to stop bank runs at the press of a button. It's not necessarily about the individuals. Now, this is going to be up to, I believe, the commercial banks will be on the front lines. They will be the ones who will need to institute something like that or demand that is placed within the program for them to be able to control those particular digital assets. and where they go and how much goes out and how much leaves. They even spoke about the programmability aspect of it, where they could make certain funding only available for a certain time. And I think they were talking about that in relation to future stimulus checks. Like, hey, you need to spend this money right now, but before, let's say, July 1st of 2022 or something like that. Once it gets to that time, that particular program or contract, whatever you want to call it, would make that money revert back to the bank, or maybe it would burn it. I don't know how they would do it, but something of that nature. So there's a lot of possibilities here. So the other risk is referred to as structural disintermediation. Bank customers could shift a significant portion of their bank deposits from the current or other deposit accounts to CBDC. Now, here's the thing: that's up to you to incentivize them not to do that. You can offer them great incentive. I mean, do you see how? Look, crypto laid out the archetype, the schematic for the banks. You offer people incentive, and they will hold their coins on the exchange, even if that's not what's in their best interest. Truly, like I mean, it's not your keys, not your crypto. But if you're seeing a ridiculous annual percentage yield, ridiculous, disgusting staking rewards, right? Then they will keep their coins there, so that they can receive that extra capital, that extra value. So that you have to incentivize them, and yes, they will keep their money there. They will keep their money with you, but that's up to you to actually do that. Now, I mean, I could go a little bit deeper into that, but I'll save that for another time. So we're gonna stop here, okay? I don't want to keep you too long, but I will be posting these in the members only section. Everything's looking really, really good. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.